Hello and welcome to the Sustainable Nutrition Exchange with Kerry, and a special welcome to our guest, Soumya Nair, Insights Director at Kerry. You've done a really interesting piece of research with 14,000 customers across 18 countries, and it seems like one of the big findings is that the expectations that consumers have from brands about sustainability are rapidly evolving. Could you tell us a little bit more?
Oh, absolutely, Damien. The rapidly evolving function is something that's just natural among consumers, but what we've uncovered through the sustainability research is that post-pandemic, we executed this research in 2021, early 2021, so that we were capturing that post-pandemic behavior among consumers. And we realized that consumers have far accelerated their focus on sustainability. As much as 49% of consumers today are prioritizing sustainability on various degrees, but they're still prioritizing sustainability when they're making food and beverage choices, which is significantly above a pre-pandemic normal, right? We expected about a third of the population to come back. So this was key aha for us. That there was a large percentage of consumer population now prioritizing sustainability. And it's not just that. We've uncovered the key associations consumers have with sustainability, and truly has demystified, the confusion surrounding what sustainability means. To consumer A, it might mean something, and to you, it might mean something else. So what we did is we attempted to uncover what those associations look like. And what is really revealed in the research is just truly fascinating.
The one of the things which I thought was fascinating was that the biggest barrier to adopting sustainability seems to be the lack of understanding the consumer has about their individual ability to impact on the planet. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
By and large, yes, there are some key barriers, right? So lack of understanding if my behaviors are truly adding value to the planet and towards sustainability. Price is also a significant barrier to sustainability. But what we also uncovered is that not every consumer is stating a barrier that is similar to the other. And this really is a point where I would say that not all consumers are built the same. And we revealed 4 key consumer segments, or archetypes as we call them, which behave towards sustainability very differently. What sustainability means to them is quite different as well across these 4 consumer segments. And coming to barriers too, some of the segments think about price as a barrier, where if it's too expensive, then they're probably not going to, share their wallet dollars towards it. Versus if you're really looking at the more mature sustainability consumer, there is almost virtually no barrier to sustainability because they have prioritized sustainability so focused on the fact that sustainability is more important that they would give up on price as well. So different archetypes have different sets of barriers and priorities. Yeah.
One of the things I was surprised to learn when I looked at these archetypes was that a group that you've identified as the front runners, people who are heavily engaged with sustainability, are 46%. I mean, let's say it's half the market between friends. I'm really surprised that many people are actively engaged with sustainability. Were you also surprised?
Yes, so much so that I triple checked the information we were getting back, and just to make sure that our initial findings were that it would be a bell curve of consumers. There's a smaller set of consumers who are really strongly advocating sustainability and live a completely sustainable lifestyle. But among those 49% of consumers who prioritize sustainability, front runners are really your aspirational segment, where every other person is looking towards this as aspirational front runner group of consumers who are making decisions prioritized by sustainability. Yes, price is a consideration, preferences, flavors, always going to be just human considerations when they think about food and beverages, but sustainability has become a significant priority for them. And to the front runner, which is typically older millennials, even across the 18 countries that we did research, typically older millennials came up to be the front runner segment. Not the Gen Zs and the younger millennials who are on social media talking about it. They fall under another archetype. But the front runner is typically somebody who has the financial wherewithal and the ability to pay a price premium for sustainability, and they don't think about it as something they're giving up on price, right? They think about added value that sustainability brings to them. So that segment is really somebody who has a long checklist and they're complex in terms of their sustainability priorities, they're not just thinking about packaging. Packaging is the default for them, right? They're also thinking about ingredient sourcing. They're thinking about blockchain transparency. They're thinking about food waste. They're significantly thinking about health and nutrition. So it's about their personal sustainable well-being as much as it is for the planet and for the business.
Soumya, we've got some fairly significant implications for this research, and people can read this research for themselves. It's available from the Kerry website, but we have sustainability rapidly evolving. We have a clear understanding of the segmentation of barriers to the adoption of sustainable purchasing. And I think we have an underestimation of the size of the market. What are the implications from this research for food and beverage customers?
See, it's hard to ignore the financial implication to it, right? There is upwards of $400 billion as far as an opportunity that's been uncovered by many other data sources and our partners here. But we know that it's no longer just the virtue of the more premium or financially, affluent consumer. Sustainability has become a priority for everyone, right? Sustainability in various degrees, of course, but it has become a table stake conversation. 5 to 10 years ago, sustainability might have been a differentiator where one company is trying to kind of position themselves as being pro-sustainable or pro-environment to cut through the clutter in the marketplace. But now sustainability to the consumer has become a irrefutable need. It's an expectation. So it's no longer, it might be unmet still. It still is an unmet need in many different segments when you're thinking about private label, store brands, at restaurant consumption. So sustainability is slowly permeating through those spheres. But it is absolutely undeniable that sustainability has become something everybody has to think about when you're thinking about positioning or thinking about even attracting the consumer, right, and cutting through that clutter.
Soumya, you also in your research drilled into categories and also looked at in-home behavior and also out-of-home behavior. What did you learn about the associations that consumers make between sustainability and certain categories, perhaps like meat and beverages?
Yeah, that's a good question, Damien. We did go beyond just asking consumers' understanding of sustainability into understanding the implications on meat or chicken appetizers and beverage and snacks and so on. Because what we hypothesized is that yes, overall consumers might think a certain way about sustainability, but when it comes to actually purchasing a food or a beverage, there might be some associations and some cues that take a higher precedence, right, or higher importance. And what came back is really true. We realized that, yes, as a default, consumers think about sustainability as really important in dairy, right? Because it's high volume consumption, dairy, meat are a default. But we are also starting to uncover the fact that even plant-based products, right, like dairy alternatives or meat-based alternatives are also significantly important when it comes to sustainability. So it's no longer just that it's plant-based, but it has to be sustainable plant-based. So it's no longer like oat-based dairy alternatives. They also have to be sustainably sourced. Furthermore, the biggest aha was that we expected alcoholic drinks or, the impulsive, more taste-forward product categories like snacks and salty snacks to not be as important or prioritized among these consumers. But what we got back is that a resounding majority of consumers, significantly above the 50%, right, threshold, a lot more consumers really want and are demanding, expecting salty snacks and all of those kind of impulsive product categories to also be sustainable, which was another, wow, that's an aha that people are expecting sustainability, not just from the basic things you're buying at home, but also from categories we wouldn't have expected.
That's a tremendous set of insights, Soumya. Thank you for sharing them with us today. And of course, this research is available on the Kerry website for everybody to download and read and learn for themselves. Thanks again for being with us today.
Thank you, Damien.